Hello, I'm David Budd, executive editor of the online magazine Mind Over Mystery. Here we explore some of the most perplexing stories that ever challenged inquiring minds. We examine them with science and logic and an unfailing sense of discovery. Join us as we research and analyze these enduring mysteries. The job was open in the 1930s, almost as if advertised in the nation's newspapers. We need a woman hero of the skies, a female Charles Lindbergh. As the 20th century came into its own, women were no longer always on the farm, barefoot and pregnant, or in the parlor serving tea. The challenges of the early years of flight needed a woman with the fire and grit to punch into the sky like the most adventurous men. And a certain young woman, restless and self-confident, needed a challenge, something just beyond the horizon to be ever striving for. Amelia Earhart stepped forward without hesitation. She took the job. Aviation, the Times, and Amelia Earhart were all made for each other. Her exploits and records spanned several years, but what the public most remembers is her round-the-world journey of July 1937. She was close, on her last legs of the trip, when her plane vanished over the Pacific Ocean on July the 2nd. No trace of her or her navigator, no trace of the plane, was ever found. The most common assumption, based on her radio transmissions, is that she failed to spot tiny Howland Island, her isolated target in the vast Pacific, and finally ditched at sea, out of fuel. But for years, reports would emerge from persons who were sure they heard her voice that July in distressed radio broadcasts. Other witnesses would later emerge who swore she was captured by the Japanese, who controlled nearby islands. Entire books were written with such themes as her supposed existence in New Jersey as a housewife under an assumed name. Some 80 years later, her fate is still grist for speculation. What happened to her twin-engine Lockheed Electra? What happened to the most famous female aviator of all time? Here at Mind Over Mystery, we've opened a file on Amelia Earhart. Join us as we research and explore.